Hello guys, this is Mr. Gray, welcome to this amazing video. In this video, we reacted to moms who beat the system. We did kids who beat the system. Now let's see mothers who beat the system, since Mother's Day is in like a week, 2 weeks. So yeah, let's get into this.
Hey guys, what's up? It's Charlie here, and today we're going to be looking at 10 hilarious mums who beat the system. So we've already seen kids who beat the system in funny ways before, but now it's time for mums to get payback. So here are some mums who trick their kids in the best ways possible and beat the system. But before we get into it, why not subscribe and turn on notifications as well? Coming in at number 10 is Cinderella. So, as a kid, one of the worst things was doing chores. When your parents ask you to do chores, you likely said okay but never did them. Or some kids flat out make an escape plan and run out of the house. Point is, kids will do anything to avoid doing chores. It's also a parent's worst nightmare trying to convince their kids to do chores. It can be very hard to...
I never really had to chore as a kid, so it made my life a lot harder when I grew up into being an adult, where I can't clean. The only chore I had was to clean my room. That's it. So that made it kind of hard when and that I didn't even start having that chore until like almost teen, so I never did it. So yeah. I think it was because of my disability and all that, my autism, but now I'm a very independent person. I'm very smart for being autistic. Yeah. So, yeah. Well, let's continue.
And arguing with a young kid can be exhausting. But one mom was pretty genius and decided to get her kid to do the chores. She hates doing them, but her mom came up with a way to make doing them fun. We all know that in Cinderella, before she goes to the ball with the prince, she's scrubbing the floors. Well, this mom's daughter happened to have a Cinderella costume. So she simply said, put on your Cinderella costume and let's play Cinderella. Of course, while playing Cinderella, you must start by scrubbing the floors, as that's how the story goes. So now when this mom wants her kid to do the chores, she doesn't say let's scrub the floors. Instead, she says, let's play Cinderella. And just with her saying that, her daughter's eager to get into her Cinderella costume and begin scrubbing the floors. This is such an easy thing, and I can't believe no one's thought of this before. This mom definitely needs to write a parenting book. Next up is That Ain't Pepsi. So, we all know that kids hate chores. There's already been one solution to that, but what about taking medicine? Kids really don't like taking medicine. It often doesn't taste very good.
I also have to take medicine, and I hate medicine. Hate it, but I have to do it. I took medicine since I was like 2 years old. I was very young when I started medicine. That's because I couldn't sleep. So I started taking sleep medicine. And then I grew to become a teenager. I had to start taking anxiety medicine. And here I am, 20 years old, still take anxiety medicine. Man. Sucks.
But just the word medicine alone is enough to put many kids off. But kids aren't exactly the smartest and most observant people, so they're easy to trick. That is why one mother of a kid who did...
Well, think about this. Sometimes they're easy to trick. Usually, one of the things with an autistic person, they notice things where most kids don't. So, yeah. I remember this one person. I knew this one person. Her belly was starting to get bigger and bigger. So I asked her, "Are you pregnant?" She was like, "No." But 2 weeks, like a month later, she was like, "I am pregnant." Yeah, that literally happened. So.
Want to take his medicine came up with this genius and simple trick. Now, the kid loves Pepsi but hates medicine, so instead she simply said have a drink of Pepsi. But the whole time she was hiding the medicine behind the can and the straw was going into the medicine. The kid really needs to get his head in the game. The can isn't even open. Then again, he is very young, so I guess he's easy to trick. But still, that is no excuse. Stay woke, kids. You never know, that delicious diabetes-causing Pepsi may be a terrible life-saving medicine. Ugh. Coming up next is sick day. So speaking of medicine, kids seem to get sick an awful lot. Think about when you were in middle school compared to now. Chances are you...
Oh my god. I hated missing school. I hate it. Hated it when I was... But when I was younger, I would get very sick. And I mean very sick. Like, I had to go to the emergency room sick. So many times. First, when I grew older, I got a lot better with it. In my second, third grade, I missed so much school because I would get sick and I would be gone for days. Because I would be sick and couldn't get better because I was so sick.
To be sick a lot more back then. Now, of course, we all know that we weren't always sick. Sometimes we just needed a day off from all the teachers and homework, so we pulled a fake sickie. Everyone has done it, some a few more times than others. But there was nothing better than when your parents left the door and you could play video games all day. Well, one mom got suspicious. Her kids were having a lot of sick days, but she wasn't buying it, so she decided to make sure her kids would never have a fake sick day. So now, whenever her kids are sick, she takes their console controllers to work with her. This means while the kids aren't at school, they can't do anything at home. I guess this is kind of different nowadays as every kid has a cell phone. But back when the only entertainment kids had was games consoles, this would have been a nightmare. I'm just glad my parents never did this to me. Leave me a comment telling me if you...
Yeah, every kid has a phone now. I didn't have my first even electronic until 14. Then that's when I had my first tablet, and then got the PlayStation when I was like 15. Got my first phone at like 16.
Took a fake sick day, and be honest. Be honest. Next up is always watching. So one thing parents love to do is watch their kids succeed.
Always watching.
They like seeing how they do at sports practice and other things. But to kids, this can be kind of embarrassing and put them off. When you're going for the goal or a home run, you hardly want your parent cheering you from the sidelines, embarrassing you. That is why many kids tell their parents to get lost when they're playing sports. One mom's kid was going for a golf tryout. So he could have his head in the game, he made her promise to not watch him. The mom agreed, but it didn't stop her from beating the system. She simply found a vantage point and perched. She literally brought binoculars along like a spy. You can see her kid doing the golf tryout in the distance. If I was this mom, I would be doing things to get out of watching a golf tryout. And I guess she's a better mom than me. Dad. Can't let them know my secrets. But anyway, would you guys be annoyed if your parents did this or not? I can relate to this kid, as I always seemed to do worse at sports when everyone was watching me. Then again, I never really did that good in the first place. Next up is Snacker. So one day on Twitter, #MomLies was trending. This was where moms share the ways they beat the system. One mom named Isabella Jennings came up with a very genius way to beat the system. She loves her snacks, but she hates sharing them with her kid. For example, one day she was eating ice cream and her 3-year-old kid says, "What's that, ice cream?" But instead she lied and said it was mashed potatoes. Now of course kids don't really care about regular foods and only really care about the sweet stuff. That is why the mom lied and also said the chocolate sauce was gravy. And she even said it was gross. Yeah, this mum really did beat the system by never having to share her snacks again. Would you guys ever try this out with your kids? One thing's for sure, if I ever have kids, I'm not sharing my snacks.
So the only thing I ate was chicken when I was like a baby. When I was like 1, 2, 3. And so my mom was like, "This is chicken. This is chicken." So she would say pork would be chicken. Mashed potatoes, chicken. So I ate everything. It just was chicken.
Parenting them would be one thing, but giving up my flaming hot Cheetos is where I draw the line. Next up is the laundry game. So we've established that kids hate chores, but it seems one way to get them to do it is by making chores into a game. Well, this is yet another Twitter mom who beat the system. She also wanted to get some help around the house with her laundry, but of course no kid would actually want to do that. So instead of simply telling her kid to help her fold socks, she tried another method. Christy Cummings told her kids that they were simply playing the match game with socks. Her young kid loves matching games. So she simply said it happened to be with socks, but in reality they were doing the laundry. These kids really need to catch on to their parents' tricks. All I can say is Christy better enjoy this while she can, because once they get a bit older, they'll realize your tricks and the jig will be up. I hate to break it to you, Christy, but when that time comes, you'll be playing the folding socks game all by yourself. Next up is Santa Trap. So for kids, Christmas is the best time of year. Not only do you get time off school and a bunch of food, but the best part about it is the presents. There was nothing better than coming down on Christmas morning and finding the gift you really wanted under the tree. And every kid knows that Father Christmas puts all the gifts under the tree. As kids, we were always interested by this and wanted to catch a glimpse of Santa. Either that or we just wanted to open our presents early. That is why many kids sneak downstairs on Christmas Eve to check out what they got. Well, one mom was sick and tired of this happening year after year. So one year she decided to get tactical. And when I say tactical, I mean literally army mode. She got Velcro sticky tape and put it all over the entrance to the downstairs. This meant her kids would get stuck and fall down the stairs if they tried to go down it. Yeah, no kid is getting downstairs in this household. Let me know in the comments if you guys ever snuck downstairs to check out your gifts. Or maybe to try and catch a glimpse of Saint Nick. And if so, did you spot him or not? Next up is hot drinks. Remember that mom who didn't want to share her snacks? Well, this mom is kind of similar, but she seems a bit more evil than the other. One of her kids kept drinking her soda. She has many kids and she asked them all about it, but no one would admit to doing it. However, unlike the other mom, she couldn't simply lie about the soda. So she decided to get mean. She grabbed a hot pepper and rubbed it on the rim of the can. Now she'll definitely catch who's drinking her soda, as they'll be freaking out when they drink it. I have to say, this has got to be the meanest trick a mom has ever pulled on this list. Let me know if your mom ever did anything like this. And if you guys are a parent or plan to be, would you ever do this? I think this may be taking it a bit far, but then again, I don't want people messing with my soda. Either way, that kid won't be going back for a second sip, so this mom definitely beat the system. Next up is shut up. So all parents love their kids, and they likely enjoy talking to their kids. But sometimes young children can be kind of loud and annoying. And sometimes for parents it must be nice for their kids to shut up so they can get a break once in a while. Well, one mom's little boy simply wouldn't shut up. He would always be making loud noises as kids do. But one day he got a scratch on his lip. Now normally you wouldn't do anything about this and you would just let it heal naturally. But this mom decided there was a way to beat the system. She got a band-aid and said you need to put it over your mouth. This meant the kid couldn't talk and the mum could finally have some quiet time. I have to say, this is a very clever trick, and it's not nearly as mean as the hot pepper can one from before. Do you think this is a genius mom life hack or not? Say what you will about its ethics, but you can't deny it worked. Next up is fake fries. So one struggle for every mom is getting their kids to eat fruit and vegetables. Many kids don't actually mind the flavor, but just the word vegetable is enough to make some kids gag. That is why one mom came up with a very clever disguise for her vegetables. You may be saying, how can you disguise a vegetable? Well, one mom wanted her kid to eat the vegetable jicama. However, she knew he didn't like vegetables and he wouldn't do it otherwise. However, she knew he didn't like vegetables and he wouldn't eat it. So instead, she cut them like this. She then simply told her kid they were cold French fries. And who doesn't love cold French fries? The kid ate them all up, believing them to be McDonald's. But in reality, this was Whole Foods. Just imagine tricking your kid like this. The only thing is, if he ever finds out, he'll never trust you again. Tricking a kid to eat vegetables really is the ultimate betrayal. But I have to give this mom props, as it was very smart. And her cutting really does make them look exactly like French fries. Let me know if you think you would have fallen for this trick as a kid. I can't lie, I probably would have. Especially if they looked as realistic as this. Come to think of it, I'd probably fall for all of the ones on this list. Perhaps not the Cinderella one, seeing as I'm not a girl. But I can just see myself as a dumb kid falling for the Pepsi medicine one. And same goes for the sick days, there's no getting around that. Also, the tactical mum with the binoculars would be hard to beat. The snack one is also pretty easy to fall for as a kid. The laundry game, however, I don't know. I think I might be able to see past that.
Yeah.
And the hot chili one is just plain mean and evil, and I would definitely fall for that. Check out the poll in the top.
Well, that would be for the video. If you guys don't know, to the channel, please subscribe! And I guess I will see you guys on next time. Goodbye!